live stream. Let's rotate that down. All right, so welcome. Welcome to the live. My name is Lauren and happy Thursday. Um, just a quick announcement. If you haven't seen my most recent video that I posted on the channel, I just recently started a Patreon that is going to allow you all to a couple things have more access to me. And if you don't know what Patreon is, it's a paid subscription. So number one, um I wanted to have, because I'm a yoga and meditation teacher, also a mental health advocate, I wanted to have a space where we can gather together um online to do our creative hobbies and relieve stress, have a community to talk. So I have two tiers, two Patreon tiers. So the first tier is a open coaching circle, and that open coaching circle starts on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. So like a little bit before this live stream. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by the way. That's the time zone that I'm in right now. Where you can ask me questions, we can talk about meditation, mindfulness, better relationships. Oh, one second. So yeah, on the open coaching circle, you can ask me questions. That's every Thursday at 7 p.m. And then I also have a space called the Creative Co-working Space. So I love to draw, paint. These are some of my paintings right here, write poetry. And I also like to sing. If you do anything creative, like making music or anything like that too, I created a space just for us. It's called Creative Co-working on my Patreon. And it's gonna be directly after this live stream ends. Well, probably it's gonna be directly in an hour, so at 9 p.m. And that's a space where we can gather together and you'll have accountability towards sitting down and taking time out for yourself and practicing self-care through creativity. Because I'm definitely of the belief that if all you do is work and you do your 9 to 5 and you're always in the hustle and bustle grind mode, that you do is surrounded with like making money, then your life can feel less purposeful. Your life can feel more like lackluster. So we need to have those things that we do every single day that ground us. And things need to be things that are creative, right? And let me know in the comments what you do for fun, what you do to be creative. Hi. So, yeah, what do you do to be creative? And that is the space that I've created on my Patreon. So, I'm actually going to drop the link in the comments and the chat. So, yeah, I just dropped the actually let me drop the link again in the chat from my other page. Um Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Anyways, I dropped it like 3 times. So I'm able to see the chat. Okay, anyways. So, yes, today's live stream and today's chat, we're going to talk about 3 ways. Actually, I have 8 ways to relieve your stress. Yeah, my Patreon is, I think the comment should be coming soon from my other YouTube channel. But my Patreon has 2 tiers. So the first tier is the creative co-working space that's going to help us gather together every week and do some activities like painting, drawing, what other creative things, writing poetry, and we can do that together. And we can talk about what we're doing and how it helps relieve stress for us and just do it together on an in a virtual space. And then also there's the open coaching circle. So that's both of those are on my Patreon. Let me see if the link is visible because I don't think it's visible. Let me see if I can go on this channel and see. Okay, yes, let me go ahead and drop the link down below. Okay, cool. There it is. Um, so that's my $3 tier. It's only $3. Then, if you want to practice with me, practice yoga. Hey, everyone who's coming in the chat. Good evening. It's Thursday evening at 8:08 p.m. for me. If you're wanting to practice yoga and meditation with me weekly, I have two sessions. They're going to be recorded as well, and the replays are going to be in the Patreon. But there's going to be two classes per week. I have a Tuesday morning yoga and meditation class that's focused on the lower back area and the hips and opening up the hips so that when you sit at your desk, you're not, or if you do sit at a desk or whether you're active at work, whatever you're doing, you're not so tight in the hips and lower back area. So Tuesday will be a hips and lower back focused class and meditation session at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be recorded sessions on there. So you'll have a library of the sessions that we have. And then Friday mornings session will be focused on the neck and shoulders. So you'll get two classes of yoga and meditation per week, both in the mornings. But again, like I said, there will be recordings that you'll have access to even after the live sessions are finished. Um, Oh my gosh, your locks have grown so much. Yes, they grow so fast. My hair grows like it just grows. But yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I dropped the Patreon link in the chat. And also, if you'd like to join me on the creative co-working session for some arts and crafts, we want to gather together to see what I'm drawing because I'll be drawing in my sketchbook, and then we can have a chat about create our creative pursuits. You can join me directly after this live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so. Yeah, like I'll be dropping that link throughout the chat throughout this live stream as well. All right, so thanks for joining me all so far on this evening. The first one of the first things that I have that you can do um to relieve some stress is take a walk outside. If you don't follow me on Instagram at the Holistic Flow, you haven't seen some of my recent posts about me being outside. And yesterday was Earth Day. And the day before yesterday, which was Tuesday, I went to the park and I was at the park for about 6 hours. And for most of those 6 hours, I was looking at this one tree and I was able to like study the tree so intensely that I drew a picture of it and then I posted it on my Instagram story. So my Instagram is the same as the YouTube handle, which is at the Holistic Flow. And then I just walked around outside and it even though it was kind of cold on Tuesday, I'm in Maryland, in Southern Maryland. It was like a little breezy, but during the middle of the day, the sun came out and the skies were blue. And I just wore my jacket and I was okay. But being outside and taking a walk outside is one of the most healing things that you can do. So if you're looking to relieve stress, take a walk outside. Have you taken a walk outside recently? Let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know like where in the world you are located. What's the weather like where you are in the world too? Because I like to know. Right now in Maryland, it's kind of sunny. It was a nice day today. It was sunny. You could be comfortable with a long sleeve shirt on outside. Um, and it would have been a great day to take a walk outside. There was no rain at all. So yeah, that's my first thing to relieve stress. I love taking a walk outdoors or just being outdoors. I took a walk today. It was beautiful. I'm in Maryland too. Awesome. Yeah, so if I actually took the time out, I would take a walk every day too. But I just do different things for like exercise, even though like walking doesn't have to be exercise. Um, but if the weather was great every single day, I would take a walk every single day too. And if I could remember to. So cool. The second thing I have, if you're enjoying the live stream so far, then give this live a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me, y'all, so far. The second thing that I have, if you are feeling burnt out or stressed, something that you can do really quick is take some deep breaths. So, have you ever noticed that, like, when you breathe, where do you breathe from? Do you ever notice it? Do you breathe from like your belly or do you breathe from your chest? Meaning, like, when you breathe, does your chest move or does your belly move? Um, so you can put that down in the comments. Like, do you think we're breathing correctly as humans? Because I kind of know the answer to that. I learned in meditation teacher training the correct way to breathe. And it really is the correct way to breathe because let me know in the comments as well. Do you have a pet? I was thinking earlier, I would definitely get a cat. I used to not be a cat person. I used to strictly be a dog person. Not that I didn't like cats, but I feel like cats didn't like me. Until I started having more friends with cats, and then I saw that some cats are just like really picky about who they hang out, who they hang around. But I like cats now. I would get a cat. And anyways, if you have a pet, um, you notice that they breathe like here, like dogs when they breathe, their stomach is moving. They're like, and that's me breathing and using my diaphragm, which is a muscle right above or right below the lungs. So it's like the lungs are right here, and then the diaphragm sits right below the lungs, and it contracts and expands, and it's a muscle. If we're not using that muscle to breathe correctly, then we won't get a full breath. So, one of the first things to help regulate your nervous system and help you be more calm is to realize where you're breathing from. If your breaths are more shallow, they're probably coming from your chest, which is why sometimes we can get like shortness of breath or we're not using our full. It's kind of like thinking about your range of motion of your breath. We're not using it to the fullest extent. So, one way we can fix this is to start incorporating breathing exercises into our morning routine. You all know me. I personally, well, some of you don't, but if you don't know me, hello, my name is Lauren. And every morning I meditate and or do a breathing exercise. And the breathing exercise that I've gone to when I was trying to regulate my nervous system is diaphragmatic breathing. So you just place your dominant hand on your belly and then you practice feeling your belly expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Some of us may feel like it's difficult to do this because if you're not used to breathing with your diaphragm, then you probably won't feel it. It's like working a muscle, when you first start doing bicep curls, you're not going to feel it because that muscle isn't used to being worked. But over time, you'll get better at taking deeper breaths and more intentional breaths. And it will help you feel more calm when you take more intentional breaths and also take that pause out of your day to just breathe. Um, to me, breathing is a form of meditation. You don't have to sit and meditate like, for 20 minutes or anything like that. It could be good to do that as well. Or it will be good to do that. I meditate for 20 minutes usually. However, for deep breathing, this is something that you could practice for like 3 to 5 minutes in the morning. And just the art or just the activity of practicing deep breathing every single day is preparing our bodies for when something comes up that's really stressful. And when it just like feels like it hits you like a ton of bricks, because you've been practicing every single day breathing correctly and regulating your nervous system with deep breathing, when stress hits, you'll be less stressed because you have the tools to regulate yourself. It's kind of like the concept of always staying ready so you don't have to get ready. So you're training your brain and training your nervous system to be calm most of the time. So yeah, that's the second one, deep breathing. And now again, I'll mention that I just reopened my Patreon for yoga and meditation classes. If you like to practice with me, I do 2 meditation classes and 2 yoga classes per week. And in each class, I'll also answer some questions, whatever questions you might have about meditating. We do a mindfulness meditation, which is it's not breath focused, but it's simply awareness focused and bringing your awareness to your breath so that we can use it as a focal point. Um, for until May 1st, you can get the yoga and meditation membership on my Patreon for $17. After May 1st, the $17 intro fee will be 25. Will turn into 25. So you get a little bit off of your founding member rate for the Patreon if you sign up before May 1st for the yoga and meditation. So again, you can check that out in the comments. Let me put it in the chat again. Mm, 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 mm. If you're just getting here, I'm gonna drop the Patreon in the comments right there. Okay, cool. So, all right. The first thing was taking a walk outside. The second thing was deep breathing. And the third thing is painting. Um, as you can see on my wall right here, oop, I was about to drop my notebook. As you can see on my wall right here, I love to paint. Every time I get a chance to go, I love to go to paint and sip like sessions, not for the sipping, but just for the painting for real. I love art. So one of my favorite classes in high school, all throughout high school, was always art class, and that was always an elective that I chose to take. So, who likes painting? Who do you like painting or drawing? Let me know in the chat. And also, do you do any type of art form? Do you make music? Do you make sculptures? Do you write poetry? Do you write songs? Do you make digital art? Where are all my artists at? And let me know what type of art you do. So let's see if I can remember all of the type of art that I do. I have a creative knack, I would say. So I can almost teach myself anything. So I taught myself how to edit videos, creating content. I love to paint, like I mentioned, to draw. I also play the piano. I also sing. I went to college actually on a choir scholarship to sing professionally for a couple years. And um, I when I was in high school, I actually used to draw manga characters from mangas that I would pick up at the library. And I used to not watch anime. I didn't start watching anime until college, but now I do like still watch some anime. But I didn't watch anime when I was in like grade school, but I still like the manga characters and the way that they looked. And so some of my friends in high school used to ask me could I draw a manga character for them because they used to see that I had drawings and sketches of manga characters in my binder. Um, and then I also used to be into fashion design. So I remember when I was like maybe 13 or 14, my mom put me in a fashion design school. Not for like regular school, but like for summer school, for summer camp. It was fashion design camp, and we made our own designs. And then at the end of camp, we had a fashion show. So I pretty much anything creative, I'm into it. And I think painting is such a great way to relieve stress because you're not thinking about, well, you shouldn't be thinking about the outcome. It's mostly getting focused on one thing and being in a flow state. So, this is one of the reasons this channel is called Holistic Flow because when you're in a flow state, you're not thinking about, like I said, the outcome of things. Hi, welcome to the live. Yeah, you're not really thinking about the outcome or um, how good you can get this painting to be. And I think that's what makes it a masterpiece, is because you're not trying to make it look like anything else that anybody else has ever done. You just want it to reflect maybe what you're feeling inside, or maybe you have some inspiration for what you're creating, or maybe you just do it from scratch. Whatever it is, painting is a great way to release emotions and, to me, also like release tensions in the mind. So again, I have one of my main missions is to create more space for creative people. So if you want to join me after this live stream on my Patreon, the link is there. You can join me because I made the creative co-working space for creative people who want to get back into their creative endeavors. So I'll be on there as soon as this live stream ends at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, the next thing you can do to relieve stress is something that I also do. Probably not as often as I used to when I was like really struggling mentally, but journaling for sure. Journaling and writing poetry. So for me, I remember a time like, and also, does anybody journal? Like, let me know in the comments. I love when you all comment because it also kind of can direct the conversation in certain directions. But I remember a time when I would watch YouTube videos about habits that you can adopt to help, mentally, to help you cope either with loss or with things that you're going through. And one of the main things people kept saying was like journal, journal, journal. If you want to relieve stress, yes, you can meditate. Yes, you can work out more. You can do breathing techniques, but definitely journal. They kept saying that, and I kept saying, "Nah, that sounds dumb." Like, and this was at the time. I don't know. Maybe this was like 2 or 3 years ago that I thought journaling was just so dumb. I don't know why. I think it was because I wasn't able to see myself doing it, and I thought it was a waste of time, honestly, until I went through like a really difficult time around this time last year, and I started journaling for the first time. And I also, in addition to journaling, started writing poetry. So I started journaling because there was this person that I needed to forgive, actually. This person who had their presence in my life kind of caused a lot of difficulties for me emotionally. And I was needing to write a letter to this person to forgive them without actually talking to them, because this was a situation that I didn't really get closure from a situation that happened. So the only thing that felt like it would work was me writing letters to this person, as if I was writing text messages but never sending them? Have you ever done that? Have you ever written a text message and not sent it because you're like, if I actually sent this, this would be so chaotic. So, anyways, that started me journaling and seeing the power of journaling. And it became such an outlet for me that I now have about 5 journals from the time of around this time last year to this year, filled up of my thoughts on the page. That's how often I've journaled and also wrote poetry. And it was birthed out of me realizing that writing things down is super powerful. I think if you are having goals, like now I would always write down my goals, you know. I would always write down things that I wanted to achieve within the next year, and I had no problem ever writing those goals down. However, it was something about the journaling that I was resistant to, but one thing always knew about writing your goals down is that whenever I write them down and then reread them and then reread them and reread them, the fact that I wrote them down in a journal, especially with pen, made these goals more concrete. And so it helped the manifestation process at work because I was also speaking these things into existence and writing them down and believing that they would happen. And so I'm a lot more intentional about the things that I write down because I know writing things are almost just as intentional writing things have so much power, almost as much power as speaking things into existence, especially when you write them down with pen. So journaling both for, speaking things into existence and praying things into existence and also journaling for releasing things that you no longer want in your brain. Um both of those are really powerful for stress relieving activities. So, yeah. The next thing that I have to as a way to relieve stress is yoga or stretching. Um, so if you move your body and stretch and breathe deeply, believe it or not, that's yoga. You are allowing your emotions to release through your body, and that's yoga. If you didn't know, now you know. Um, Humans at large, Americans, I would say, at large have hip problems. I know because I've been a stretch therapist for almost 4 years now, and I've been a yoga teacher for almost the same amount of time. And so I've personally stretched because I stretch people one on one as my full time job, and I've personally stretched many people. And a large population of people have tight hips and locked up hips and back and shoulders. And these to me, because I also know about stress and how it manifests in the body, these to me are points of tension for people that in these joints, in these areas of our body, our thoughts are manifesting themselves physically as tension, especially women, in our hips area. There's a lot that can go on in that area throughout life that can cause tension, tightness, the mental load that we carry manifesting itself as physical pain in our bodies, in our knees. So, stretching, doing yoga is a lot more powerful than we sometimes give credit to. I mean, we know the general benefits, right? Everyone knows the benefits of stretching and moving your body, but do we really know why that tension gets there in the first place so we can prevent it as well? Little Bubble says, my joints are actually hurt so much right now, mostly legs. Yeah, so what I tell people is um when I'm stretching clients at work, I'm asking them, if they're wherever they're in pain, what movements trigger your pain? And it's definitely up to us because I've also struggled with knee pain. I actually have arthritis in both of my knees. And that's not just saying that. I went through excruciating knee pain um earlier in my 20s, and I was dealing with it for years and went to get an MRI scan and discovered that probably because of my physical activities when I was younger, like doing cheerleading, gymnastics, that I have deteriorating cartilage in both of my knees. And because of that, it led to some knee pain, but because I also have the knowledge of anatomy and physiology, like I have a degree in exercise physiology, then I got my degree in yoga teacher, like my yoga teacher certificate, and I've been an experienced stretch therapist. I knew how to kind of fix that pain over time, but I had to learn. So, yeah, I always ask people like, what triggers your pain? Like, do any movements trigger it? Does not getting enough sleep trigger it? Are you like sleeping on one specific side of your body, and on that side of your body, do you have more pain than the other side? Are you sitting down for long periods of the day, and then when you get up, your body's hurting more? Do you need to change? Like, I think if we paid attention a lot more to our lifestyle choices, then we could better understand what's happening in our body. And that's also why, again, I know I keep mentioning my Patreon, but I really want people to know that I'm now offering yoga classes twice a week. And I'll be talking about things like this in the yoga classes because one yoga class will be focused on the lower back and the hips area, basically lower body. And then the other yoga class will be focused, the other yoga class per week will be focused on neck and shoulders. So again, you can join that yoga class or those yoga classes per week, and the replays will be available in the Patreon too. Well, I'm still in school, so that means I must be sitting for 7 hours a day, deeply unfortunate. So, yeah, I remember being in school and also like not having a lot of time to get up and move, but I also was on campus. So, I remember what it was like or when I was in college, but then like also in high school, middle school, like grade school, right? You're sitting down a lot. If you're in school as an adult, like if you're in school at home and maybe you're also working or you have a remote job or something like that where you're always sitting at a desk, that can take a toll on your body too. So those are things that I understand are like uncontrollable. If you're in school, you're just in school and you're gonna have to sit. But my main thing would be in the morning and in the mornings and in the evenings, what do you do to prepare your body to be more comfortable while sitting? Like what is your movement routine like in the morning? And then also what is your cool down routine like in the evening or your wind down routine like in the evenings as far as, after you've been sitting all day, how do you move your body? Hello, and if you've just joined me, um again, I will post the Patreon link in the chat. Um I'm gonna copy and paste because I just opened it a couple days ago, and until May 1st, you can join the yoga and meditation part of the Patreon and get two yoga and meditation classes for $17, only $17 a month. And after May 1st, the yoga and meditation classes will be 24 dollars a month after May 1st. Hello, Will Banks. Mornings are tough, of course. I always take a whole stretch when I wake up, but I don't have time for much. In the evenings, I should definitely be doing more. Yeah, no, I definitely feel you. And here's the thing about like not having a lot of time. Um, and Will Banks said just came back from our walk. Awesome. I hope you had a great walk. I was just also talking about, taking a walk for stress. I was just talking about taking a walk from like for stress relief. But here's the thing about feeling like you don't have enough time in the morning. Um and this is probably I'm gonna be preaching to the choir too, because this is also me. We have to make time, literally. And then also the reason why we don't have time right now, like I could say for me, let's use me because I'm not exempt from this at all. Like there are plenty of things that I don't make time for. Um, I would say, in the mornings, I don't have enough time to meditate for 20 minutes, so I just do it for 5 minutes. The thing is, if if I became really anxious and every single day, I was starting to have heavy breathing around a certain time of the day, um, or maybe I was having insomnia, or excuse me, I'm not able to get out of bed, and I'm like, meditation will help me get my thoughts together, but I don't have enough time to meditate in the morning. What I'm telling myself is that meditation isn't as important. Like, it's not as important because if I said, man, like, I need to get my hygiene right, but I just don't have time to brush my teeth in the morning. Like, what you've never heard anybody say that. You've never heard anybody say, I don't have time to brush my teeth, even though for me it takes like 3 minutes. You've never heard anybody say, I don't have time to take a shower. The shower takes 15 minutes. I don't have 15 minutes. I don't have 10 minutes or whatever, however long it takes you to take a shower. Because those are essential things because we deem them as so important for our hygiene and keeping our body up. We don't want to be smelling, we don't want the breath to be funky. We don't want the underarms to be sweating and all that stuff. But that's just how important we see hygiene, right? But it's like our mind is one of the most hygienic things we need to keep up because that's where everything comes from. Like everything that we do comes from our mental state. So if we're not right there, then everything on the outside is just secondary. But um and this is also me talking to myself too. Believe me, like I still have things that I know I need to put more time to, but I just don't. So I think if we just like shift our way of thinking about the things that we have time to do, we will push out we will push out some things that we do throughout our days and then other things that we'll make time for. Talking about winding down. Nice. This is a good winding down time. Just gotta watch for the bats around the nighttime. Yep, definitely watch for those bats. I really be hating waking up early. I could probably meditate a bit in class. Definitely get it in where you fit in. I'm currently working on waking up earlier because like for tomorrow's yoga and meditation class, like at 6 a.m., you know. Um if so if that weren't a part of my routine now, doing a yoga class at 6 a.m. on the Patreon, I wouldn't be waking up at 5:20 in the morning. I would be waking up at like 7. Um, 6 a.m. is rough. Yes, it is. For some people, 6 a.m. is an ideal time because I would usually wake up at 6:30 and be at the gym at 7:30. Because I'm a morning person. When I'm up, I'm up. But the reason I made that time is because people who are, mostly the stressed ones, the ones who are going to their 9 to 5, we be up at 5:30. We be up at 5 a.m. Because if you want to make it to the gym or you want to make it to your morning class, then you're up at 5:30, 5 a.m. to be there at 6. Because I know that's the time that we have to dedicate to um make time for those things. So for me, that's a struggle. Like getting up before that is a struggle, but it definitely takes discipline and knowing that, okay, now I'm showing up for someone else. But it first has to come with me being comfortable showing up with like for myself. Actually, quality explanation with the hygiene stuff. Yes, thank you. I don't know where I got that explanation from, but I'm pretty sure I heard it. Um I'm pretty sure I heard it from like another mindfulness person. Honestly. Yo, so my neighbors are always admired by how consistent I walk and how often they ask me how I do it. I say, treat it like brushing your teeth. Yes. So true. You have to. Because if you don't, you'll never see the importance of it. So it's sort of like, people who, so I have this one friend, I used to be friends with this person, and they would tell me, this is a little bit different, but the same. It's the same mindset. So like I would always be at the gym and they're like, I admire how you're always like taking care of your body. You do your routines and your leg workouts. And I'd be like, well, then come and come and work out with me at the gym. And I'll be like, yeah, come and work out with me. So they'll be like, okay, well, tomorrow I have work. I don't get off until 6 p.m. And then after that I gotta eat dinner. And then by that time my food won't be done digesting. So I don't have time to go to the gym. And then I'll be like, okay, well, what about on your off day? And they'll be like, okay, on my off day, I don't want to do anything. I just want to rest because I'm always working. And I'm like, okay, so if you're not gonna do it on a day that you have work, and you're also not gonna do it when you're off, then when are you gonna do it? And then they were like, well, I'd rather do it when I feel like doing it because if I just feel like resting, then I need to get my rest. And then I was like, okay, this is the type of person that never gets anything done because they are only gonna do it if they want to do it or when they feel like doing it. Working out is something that you ain't gonna never feel like working out. I promise you, you ain't never gonna feel like working out. So if you gonna wait to work out when you feel like doing it, then that mean it ain't gonna never get done. Because that's just not how it works. That really is not how it works. So if you're waiting to feel like it in order to do it, you're gonna be waiting forever and ever, forever, ever, and ever, and ever, because you ain't never gonna you ain't never gonna feel like doing it. Wake up, brush, water plants, fill my water bottle, and put it by the door. Go to the gym. I used to wake up then walk, but during the sunset around this time is better. I'm done yapping. No problems. Thanks for that breakdown. Thanks for that breakdown. It's a good breakdown. I feel like it's especially difficult to establish a routine in teen years because of the constantly changing life events. It can be. It definitely can be. I think and then also like if you kind of have other responsibilities like that aren't really about your life. I don't know if you have like siblings to watch over, if you're the youngest or the oldest, or you just have more responsibilities. You have extracurricular activities to do. So, um, I always say like do what you can. Do what resonates and then leave what doesn't. Like it's all about finding your routine and literally doing what you can do because if we're all trying our best, if we're all going to the extent that works for us at this time, then at some point your routine is going to open up, your free time is going to open up for you to be able to do the things that you once did you really did not actually have the time for. Cuz I understand there are some things that we literally do not have the time for. But I refuse to believe that one of those things that we do not have the time for is mental health. I believe everyone has the time to take out for like the things that you know that could benefit you if you just set aside a few extra minutes. And so like stretching in the morning, stretching isn't something that we have to take 20 whole minutes to do every morning. Honestly, it's not. Um, you know, this is what I tell people when I used to do coaching, like one-on-one coaching, mindfulness coaching. So I was teaching my clients how to meditate and then also teaching them how to regulate their emotions. Um, if you only have 5 minutes in the morning, do 5 minutes. Then the next week, add 2 more minutes to it. So the next week, add 7 minutes. Do that consistently. Just show your mind that you can do it consistently. So once you start doing it consistently for 5 minutes, eventually you're gonna be like, oh, 5 minutes ain't nothing. Let's do it for 10. And then you do that 10 consistently. And then you all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have more time. And then you start doing it for 15 and then like on and on and on. So I think as long as we're doing something consistently, consistency it's more beneficial than quantity at this time. Like consistency, just keep hitting the nail on the head and then eventually you'll have more time to hit the nail on the head. Yep. I've got a dip in a couple minutes. That's fine. Well, have a great rest of your evening. Um, Again, I'm going to get off of the live stream in just a few minutes, but if you'd like to join me on um the creative co-working space on Patreon, that's a space for us to get together and have accountability towards our creative pursuits, whether you like to draw, paint, write poetry, we're going to do that together. And it starts at 9 p.m. So in about 12 minutes. And the link is on my Patreon and it's also in the $3 a month tier. So only $3 a month. You'll get that, and then you'll also get a coaching session for me once a week as well. So if you want to join me on that, we'll be there. Um, so yeah, like it's basically fixing. Oh, I missed a comment. Yeah, for me to work out, the process is a chain. I literally get my butt in the car and drive to the gym. I don't think about the workout. Also, why I place my water bottle and keys by the door. Yes, that's so important. So you mentioned something super important, which is literally creating the space to, it's literally creating an environment. Um, for those things to happen. So when I wanted to start stretching, before I became a stretch therapist, before I became a yoga teacher, I wanted to start stretching in the morning. So what I would do is lay out my yoga mat right there in my room. And I would lay it out so that I would have to walk past it when I got out of my bed in the morning. So like if I literally have to step over the yoga mat or either walk on the yoga mat in order to get out the door, and just like if I didn't do the stretching, I would feel so bad if I just walked over it, right? Because I'd be like, okay, that's a sign I didn't even do my stretching. So, like, you literally have to set your environment up sometimes to do the things that you set out to do. Like, if you want to stop eating Oreos so much or snacks so much, stop putting this all the snacks on the row in your cabinet that's literally eye level. So the first thing that you see when you open up your cabinet is them daggone potato chips that you're trying to stop eating, but you got them right there, sitting there like a present. But why don't you put them on the bottom shelf? Or why don't you just put them all the way on the top shelf? Because if you like me, you short, I'm only 5 foot even. If you like me, you short, I gotta reach for them. No, I just might as well not have them. So it's like that. We have to actually like set our environment up for the things that we want to do so that we stop doing them or we start doing them. So that's really important. I read that in the book Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits had a chapter on, the chapter was something like it was like about, you're not lazy, you're just in the wrong environment for the thing that you're trying to do. So yeah, like if you haven't read the book Atomic Habits, definitely it's a great book to read. Sorry, I just woke up. Thursday, 6 a.m. was my alarm. Last Thursday, I got you from India. Ooh, awesome, from India. Well, I hope you had a good sleep. You just woke up. My bass guitar is in the middle of my bedroom. Nice. My dad also plays bass guitar. He also like my dad bought me a guitar for Christmas one year as a kid. Because I also used to play piano. I mean, if you put me in front of a piano, probably could still like figure out how to play some things and I play by ear. But definitely playing some instruments is amazing. Stay musical. I'm not perfect. Yep, I'm a sucker for the gummy bears. I love anything gummy too. I love it. And now I'm really on Oreos. I still am on Oreos, but um there's if you have a Mom's Organic Market, if you're in the US, if you have Mom's Organic Market, I like the Newman O's. They're not Oreos, but they taste just like Oreos, but they have more natural products than Oreos. Like you can actually read the ingredients to them. And I've actually been eating those today. I still have my guilty pleasures. We all do, you know? So yeah, guys, so I'm going to be I said, yeah, guys. So if you all want to join me as well, I'll be on the Patreon stream. It is under the $3 tier or like the yoga and meditation tier as well. I'll be on there in a couple minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and start to log off. Um, and let me know if you have any questions. I left the Patreon link in the chat. If you have any questions about joining, and also if you're wanting to join in the future, but you're not sure if it'll benefit you, just let me know. You can always sign up for Patreon, join for free, and then message me on there if you have any questions. But to join the meeting, the creative co-working space, um, you'll need to join the paid tier. So those are some ways that you can support me. Thank you all for joining this live stream. Today we'll be back on live next week, and I'll share some more tips and things that you can do to relieve stress. Um, next Thursday as well, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also stay tuned for some other videos that I'll be posting on this channel as well. So yeah, have a great rest of your evening or morning. And yeah, if you're having like a difficult time joining at this time, then set an alarm. Like I'll be on live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, from 8 to about 8:55 or 9. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, and also maybe like share this live stream with someone who you think would enjoy this conversations, or share the channel with someone who you think would enjoy these type of conversations. So thanks so much, you all, and see you on live again next week. See you pretty soon. Peace.